I think if I were to define minimalism, I would just say that minimalism is the thing that gets us past the things so we can make room for life's most important things, which actually aren't things at all. I mean, I think that's kind of the problem, right? Like the average American household has 300,000 items in it. Now that's not me saying that, that's the Los Angeles Times. I don't know if they just went around and counted everybody's stuff, but we all know we have a lot of stuff. We have a giant storage locker industry in this country. There are more storage lockers facilities than there are Starbucks in this country. And so even though our houses are larger than they've ever been, we still need extra space because we've run out of room in our basements, and our attics, and our spare bedrooms, and our guest bedrooms, and our walk-in closets, and our second living rooms. It's all brimming with stuff. And that'd be all fine if it was making us happier and improving our lives dramatically, but quite often it gets in the way of what's important. And I think what we found with minimalism is that letting go of the excess, getting rid of the stuff that's in the way, there's a weird paradox with that. I get far more value now from the few items I own than if I were to water them down with a bunch of trinkets that I don't really need. We've gotten ourselves into this weird position, right, where we are spending money we don't have to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't even know. And when that cycle happens, we amass debt. I made really good money back in the corporate world, but I spent even better money. Because I was trying to keep up with the next paycheck, the next promotion. I needed to prove to people via the facade of stuff. I need to have the latest clothes, the up-to-date smartphone. I needed to have all of the things that signaled. I think consumerism, in a way, was the original virtue signaling, or maybe even value signaling. I was showing my values by accumulating more stuff, but really all I was doing is I was amassing more debt because I couldn't afford it. Like in a literal way, I couldn't afford the money, but I also couldn't afford the space that it took up, the worrying about the things, the thinking about the things, the taking care of the things, all the space those things occupy. There are all these additional costs that we don't even think about because we just look at the price tag and say, well, that's what this thing costs. But the true cost of owning and accumulating endlessly goes way beyond the price tag. I think the American dream is a template, and it may even work for some people. I think the problem that we get just involved in is the problem arises when we think the American dream is the template. It's like there are a bunch of different paths you can take to get to whatever your destination is going to be. The path that's right for me may not be the path that's right for you, and so I need to act accordingly. I need to figure out what is appropriate for my life. And so if someone is trying to pursue something that doesn't interest me, it may be great for them. I'm not out proselytizing. I don't want to convert anyone to minimalism. There's no dogma here. I've simply found a recipe that's worked well for me. I've seen it work well for tens of thousands of other people. And we just want to share that recipe, not in hopes that you'll convert to the same recipe or even create the same recipe. Maybe you'll get a few you'll get a few ingredients that you'll find value in. And in doing so, you'll create your own recipe for a more meaningful life. But you don't have to call that minimalism. It could just be, maybe I just want to simplify things a little bit so I can prioritize what's important in my life.